Life in Phuket, SX. Tourism, beautiful women, Thailand's wildest island exposed. What if I told you that the island you've been dreaming about, the one filled with beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and a dark, yet fascinating underbelly, is far wilder than you think? Welcome to Phuket, Thailand's most notorious island. Phuket is not just another tropical getaway with crystal-clear waters and golden sands. There's more to it than meets the eye. Sure, the postcard-perfect beaches and endless sunshine make it an irresistible paradise, but behind the scenes, this island holds secrets that could change everything you thought you knew about Thailand. It's a place where the luxury resorts meet gritty streets, and the nightlife takes on a whole new meaning. In the next few minutes, you'll see why Phuket's reputation as a party island and tourist haven is just the surface. Stick with us, because what you're about to uncover is far more than just another vacation destination. You'll see the side of Phuket that tourists rarely talk about, and it's something you won't forget. This island isn't just about fun in the sun, it's about survival, challenges, and the price of paradise. Trust me, you'll want to hear the whole story. You've heard the stories: beautiful women, exotic beaches, and nightlife that goes on until dawn. But there's a side to Phuket most people don't talk about, a side that's been thriving under the radar for years. Phuket, Thailand's largest island, is known worldwide for its stunning beaches, clear blue waters, and vibrant nightlife. It's a place where many people come to escape, relax, and have a good time. The island has earned a reputation for being a tropical paradise, a dream vacation spot for those looking for adventure and luxury all in one place. Patong Beach, in particular, is famous for its neon lights, crowded streets, and the parties that seem to never end. But beyond the fun, there's so much more happening that most visitors never get to see. Phuket isn't just any island. It's a major hub for tourism in Thailand, drawing millions of visitors each year. More than 12 million tourists arrive annually, eager to experience everything from water sports to shopping, from fine dining to lively entertainment. The island has a booming economy driven by tourism, with luxury hotels, beautiful resorts, and a growing number of attractions aimed at visitors. The beaches are some of the most picturesque in the world, with powdery white sand and crystal-clear water that make it easy to imagine a life of relaxation. The culture is rich, with influences from all over Thailand and the world, adding to its charm and allure. However, there's a darker side to Phuket that's often overlooked. While the beaches and resorts are beautiful, there's another story playing out on the island. Behind the scenes, a darker industry thrives, one that is often hidden from the tourists who come looking for fun in the sun. This hidden side of Phuket is more complex than you might think, and it's one that locals have had to live with for years. As a traveler, you might be tempted to just enjoy the beaches and the nightlife, but the truth is that the island is dealing with issues that impact both the locals and the environment. The constant growth in tourism has led to overcrowding, rising costs of living, and even strain on local resources. So, while Phuket may seem like paradise on the outside, there are serious challenges that come with being a world-renowned tourist destination. If you think you know Phuket, wait until you hear what lies beneath the surface. You've heard the stories: beautiful women, exotic beaches, and nightlife that goes on until dawn. But there's a side to Phuket most people don't talk about, a side that's been thriving under the radar for years. Phuket is Thailand's largest island, and it's a destination that draws millions from all around the world. Known for its breathtaking beaches, vibrant nightlife, and year-round tropical weather, Phuket is often seen as the perfect getaway. With clear blue waters, golden sands, and resorts that cater to every need, it's easy to see why it's a favorite for tourists. However, like many popular travel destinations, what you see on the surface is only part of the story. Located in the Andaman Sea, Phuket is Thailand's most visited island, with more than 12 million visitors each year. Its reputation as a luxurious beach haven is well-earned, with iconic locations like Patong Beach, Kata Beach, and Phi Phi Islands offering something for everyone. Whether you're a thrill seeker looking for water sports or someone wanting to unwind on a quiet beach, Phuket seems to have it all. Its beaches alone draw attention with their crystal-clear waters and palm-lined shores, creating the perfect postcard image of paradise. The island's lively entertainment scene, especially in areas like Patong, is another reason people flock here. The streets are lined with bars, nightclubs, and restaurants, making it the ultimate destination for those seeking both relaxation and excitement. But despite its many attractions, Phuket also faces serious challenges, ones that are less talked about but just as important. While tourists come for the beauty and the fun, the reality for many of Phuket's residents is very different. Behind the well-manicured resorts and the beachside views, the island's rapid growth has come with its fair share of problems. The influx of tourists has pushed up the cost of living, overcrowded local communities, and strained the island's infrastructure. Even more concerning, Phuket's popularity has resulted in environmental damage, with pollution and waste affecting its pristine beaches and coral reefs. Locals and longtime residents often feel the weight of this growth, seeing their once peaceful home transform into a bustling tourist hotspot. The idyllic image of Phuket is clouded by issues like rising prices and a tourism-dependent economy that doesn't always benefit the people who live there. So, while Phuket may look like the dream destination for travelers, it's not the perfect paradise it seems. There's a lot more to this island than meets the eye, and in the next few minutes, we'll uncover the hidden truths about life in Phuket. If you think you know Phuket, wait until you hear what lies beneath the surface. The island's beauty, beaches, sunshine, and beyond Phuket, often dubbed the Pearl of the Andaman, is a paradise for anyone seeking the ultimate beach getaway. The island is home to some of the most beautiful and famous beaches in the world, attracting visitors from all corners of the globe. Take Patong Beach, for example. It's the most well-known beach on the island, famous for its vibrant nightlife, bustling streets, and activities that range from water sports to shopping. If you're looking for a place to relax and soak up the sun, Patong offers a mix of both the fun and peaceful moments that many tourists crave. Then there's Kata Beach, a quieter alternative with its long stretch of soft, golden sand and clear, turquoise waters. Perfect for families or couples seeking a more serene atmosphere, Kata gives you the space to unwind while still enjoying the beauty of the sea. But perhaps the most famous spot of all is the Phi Phi Islands, located just a short boat ride from Phuket. These islands are so stunning that they've been featured in several Hollywood films, drawing even more visitors who want to experience their breathtaking landscapes and crystal-clear waters. What makes Phuket truly stand out is its tropical climate. The island is blessed with warm weather year-round, making it a popular destination no matter the season. With average temperatures ranging from 25 to 34 deg, 77 deg to 88 deg, you can count on sunshine almost every day. The warm weather, combined with the clear waters and soft sand, creates the perfect environment for beach lovers and adventure seekers alike. Whether you're looking to try your hand at snorkeling, scuba diving, surfing, or simply relaxing under a palm tree, Phuket's beaches offer something for everyone. Phuket's allure doesn't stop at the beaches, though. It's marketed as the ultimate destination for relaxation, adventure, and fun. This island is often seen as the place where people go to escape, to live out their dream vacation, and to experience the best of what life has to offer. The picture-perfect beaches and luxurious resorts make it feel like you've stepped into a postcard. The island is a melting pot of tourists seeking everything from exciting nightlife to relaxing spa treatments, and it's easy to see why it's so attractive. Phuket's tourism industry has built an entire image of paradise around this beauty. The island's lush greenery, white sandy shores, and crystal-clear blue waters make it a stunning place to visit. and this image of paradise is exactly what draws over 12 million visitors to the island each year. But as beautiful as the island is, it hides much more under the surface that many people don't talk about. While the beaches and resorts look like the perfect escape, Phuket's popularity has come with a set of challenges that affect both the locals and the environment. The beaches, although stunning, have become overcrowded, and the natural beauty of the island is beginning to show signs of strain. The clear waters are not as clean as they once were, and the once peaceful communities are now overrun with tourists, causing local prices to skyrocket. These growing pains of over-tourism are a constant reminder that the paradise many people dream of is not as untouched as it seems. When it comes to numbers, Phuket is a powerhouse in Thailand's tourism industry. Over 12 million tourists visit the island each year, and it contributes about 30% of the country's entire tourism revenue. That's a huge amount considering the size of the island and its local population. The tourism industry fuels everything on the island, from the restaurants to the hotels and even the transportation. It's clear that Phuket has become a major driver of Thailand's economy, but it's also clear that this heavy reliance on tourism comes with both benefits and consequences. While tourism brings prosperity and jobs to many, it also contributes to issues like overcrowding, inflation, and environmental damage. As beautiful as the beaches and resorts are, the tourism boom has led to problems that locals and the environment are struggling to keep up with. Phuket, like many other popular destinations, is learning the hard way that paradise, while lucrative, can come with a heavy price. So, while visitors flock to the island to enjoy its natural beauty, they are also unknowingly contributing to the growing pains that come with the island's popularity. Phuket's beauty is undeniable, but its transformation due to tourism is something to think about. Is the price of paradise worth it? Only time will tell whether the island can maintain its charm while dealing with the impacts of the millions who visit every year. The nightlife. The world of Patong Beach. The nightlife in Phuket is world-renowned. From the moment the sun sets, Patong Beach transforms into a dazzling hub of lights, music, and endless entertainment. It's where many come to experience the ultimate party vibe, where the fun never ends and the energy is always high. But the kind of party you think you are getting into might not be exactly what you expect. What appears to be a carefree night of drinks and dancing can quickly turn into something much more intense and sometimes even overwhelming. Patong Beach, the heart of Phuket's nightlife, is filled with neon lights that flash across the streets and bars that seem to go on forever. The beach is lined with dozens of clubs, pubs, and small bars, each offering something slightly different. For tourists, it's like stepping into a world where every night feels like New Year's Eve. The streets are buzzing with people from all over the world, some here to party till dawn, others just wanting to see what the island's nightlife is all about. There's music blaring from every direction, whether it's pop hits from a nightclub or live bands playing local tunes in a bar. It's an atmosphere that promises excitement, fun, and adventure for anyone looking to let loose. However, as you walk through the neon-lit streets of Patong, you start to notice something that makes this place different from other party destinations. The lines between entertainment and debauchery are often blurred. What starts as a night of harmless fun can quickly veer into uncomfortable territory. Patong's nightlife isn't just about dancing and socializing. It's a place where the darker side of tourism reveals itself. Behind the flashing lights and loud music, you'll find an undercurrent of more adult entertainment that caters to a different kind of tourist. The presence of go-go bars, street vendors offering more than just food, and the occasional street performers pushing boundaries creates a feeling of chaos and unpredictability that is not for everyone. For many tourists, Patong's nightlife offers an adrenaline rush like no other. But for the locals, it's a constant balancing act between managing the chaos and protecting their cultural values. From the tourists dancing till dawn to the locals managing the chaos, the night comes alive in ways that might shock you. It's not just the flashy clubs or the bars that keep people talking about Patong, it's the energy that spills out into the streets. At any given moment, you can spot groups of tourists, both young and old, gathering in bars or stumbling out onto the streets, talking to the local vendors and making new friends from all over the world. The neon signs that flood the area might suggest that you are in the middle of the wildest party. But there's a certain level of madness behind it all that makes you question how far people are willing to go to experience the ultimate night out. When it comes to the tourists visiting Patong Beach, it's easy to see how they can get swept up in the excitement. The sheer volume of entertainment options can be overwhelming, and the temptation to indulge in something more than just a drink is hard to resist. While some people are ready for the wild party atmosphere, others are shocked by how intense it can be. Many tourists come with the idea of having a great time but quickly realize that Patong isn't just about fun. It's about survival in an environment where everyone is trying to live their version of the party. The crowds, the noise, the constant pressure to keep up with the action, all of this can make Patong an exciting but exhausting experience for those who aren't prepared. The question then becomes, are the tourists really ready for the kind of party they've signed up for? With so much going on, it's easy to think you're just visiting another lively destination. But in Patong, there's always something waiting to surprise you. The energy of the streets is infectious, but it's also the very thing that can wear you down after a while. The constant rush to keep up with the nightlife, the pressure to fit in, and the overwhelming volume of entertainment options can sometimes leave visitors wondering if the night is ever going to end, and if they were really getting the kind of experience they expected when they first arrived. It's not all bad, of course. For those who know what they're getting into, Patong can offer an unforgettable experience. You can meet people from all over the world, dance to your heart's content, and enjoy a night filled with new faces and exciting energy. But there's a difference between what is expected from a beach party and what Patong really delivers. For many, the party never stops, and while that's exactly what some people want, it's also something that can quickly become overwhelming if you're not ready for it. It's a place where everything is pushed to the extreme, where fun, freedom, and chaos all come together, leaving you with a memory you're not likely to forget no matter how hard you try. So, whether you're visiting Patong for the first time or the 50th, you'll quickly realize that the nightlife here is not like any other place in the world. It's as exciting as it is exhausting, as wild as it is unpredictable. And, as always, when you step into the heart of Patong Beach's nightlife, you're entering a world where the party never ends, but neither does the madness. SX Tourism, Phuket's dark side. What people don't tell you about Phuket is that its infamous reputation for SX tourism isn't just a myth, it's real, and it's bigger than you think. While many come to Phuket to experience the island's beauty, adventure, and culture, there is another side of the island that fueled by a very different kind of tourism, adult entertainment. This side of Phuket, though often kept in the shadows, plays a significant role in the island's economy. It's a world that thrives quietly, yet its presence is undeniable. Phuket's economy is heavily dependent on tourism, and while the island offers plenty of attractions, beaches, luxury resorts, and vibrant nightlife, it's the adult entertainment industry that draws in a large portion of its visitors. For years, Phuket has been one of the top destinations for adult tourism in Asia, attracting men and women looking for a wild time. The presence of SX tourism in Phuket has created a unique and often controversial economy. Bars, nightclubs, massage parlors, and other forms of adult entertainment have popped up all around the island, and they generate a massive amount of money. It might be uncomfortable to think about, but the reality is that SX tourism fuels a significant portion of Phuket's local economy. Tourists who come to experience this side of the island spend money on services like escort services, drinks in bars, and nightlife experiences that cater specifically to adult interests. Local businesses, from small vendors to major establishments, often rely on this money to stay afloat. The revenue from this sector helps sustain many aspects of the local economy, particularly in areas that are directly involved in nightlife and adult services. It has estimated that adult tourism makes up a large percentage of Phuket's overall tourist revenue, contributing millions of dollars to the island's businesses every year. However, this kind of tourism comes with its fair share of controversy. While it's a well-established industry, it's also one that raises ethical questions. The exploitation of workers, especially women, is a significant concern. Many of the individuals working in the adult entertainment industry in Phuket do so because of limited economic opportunities, or because they are trapped in a cycle of poverty. The industry often reinforces gender inequalities and perpetuates unhealthy attitudes toward women. While some may argue that it provides jobs and boosts the local economy, it also comes with a cost to social and moral values. The question arises, is the economic benefit of this industry worth the societal harm it causes? Expert insight into the SX tourism industry reveals how deeply ingrained it is in Phuket's tourism infrastructure. According to statistics, Phuket ranks as one of the top destinations in Southeast Asia for SX tourism. Data shows that the revenue generated from this sector is substantial, though it's difficult to estimate exact figures due to its underground nature. It's been reported that the adult entertainment industry brings in millions of dollars every year, with bars and nightclubs generating significant profits from foreign tourists seeking these services. The demand for these services is so high that they have become a standard part of the island's offerings, which has led to an expansion of businesses that cater to these tourists. In an interview with a local business person who owns a bar in Patong Beach, it was revealed that the adult tourism industry brings in millions each year. However, this industry is not without its problems. The business owner shared, "We've seen a huge influx of money from adult tourism, but it's also causing major issues for the community. Families are struggling to maintain their way of life, and there are cultural challenges that we're facing because of the growth of this sector." The business owner explained that while adult tourism brings in cash, it also leads to issues such as rising crime rates, social inequality, and a change in the way the island is perceived by both locals and visitors. Phuket's local residents have mixed feelings about the adult tourism industry. On one hand, it provides jobs for many who work in bars, clubs, and massage parlors. On the other hand, it's causing a shift in the island's social fabric. For some, the adult tourism boom has brought prosperity, but for others, it's tearing apart the traditional community structure. As the industry has grown, it has attracted people who want to take advantage of the money it offers, leading to an increase in prostitution, human trafficking, and exploitation of the workers involved. Personal stories further highlight the darker side of the industry. I spoke with a local bar owner who shared how adult tourism has impacted their business. "It's been a double-edged sword," they said. "This industry, though often seen in the shadows, brings in millions each year. But it's also changing the island in ways we can't ignore. We're losing the character of Phuket, and many locals are struggling to adapt to these changes. There are so many people relying on this income, but at what cost?" The bar owner went on to explain that while many businesses have thrived due to the adult tourism industry, the island's traditional way of life is being threatened. With rising costs of living, overcrowded streets, and a general sense of instability, locals are becoming more concerned about the long-term effects of such a rapidly growing industry. This dark side of Phuket raises important questions about the balance between tourism and ethics. As the island continues to rely on SX tourism to fuel its economy, it becomes clear that the benefits are not evenly distributed, and the social consequences of such an industry cannot be ignored. While the money flows in, the cost to the people in the community is starting to become evident. Whether this industry will continue to grow or face increasing regulation remains to be seen. But what is certain is that it has become a significant part of Phuket's identity, one that is both profitable and problematic. Phuket's dark side is not just about the money it brings in, it is about the human cost of this industry. As tourists continue to flock to the island, they are unwittingly contributing to the cycle of exploitation that is at the heart of this multi-million-dollar business. The true cost of SX tourism in Phuket is much higher than anyone might realize, and it leaves many wondering if the island can ever find a way to balance its economic success with its cultural and ethical values. Beautiful women of Phuket. The truth behind the image. It's no surprise that Phuket is known for its stunning women. The island is often depicted as a paradise filled with beautiful exotic faces and figures, drawing in tourists from around the world. Whether it's the vibrant nightlife, the glamorous resorts, or the beaches that are the backdrop to a picture-perfect vacation, Phuket's women are often part of the island's image as a dreamy getaway. But what lies behind this image of paradise? Is beauty truly just skin deep, or is there more to the story than the glittering exterior? Phuket has become a global hotspot for tourists seeking relaxation and adventure. But one of the most powerful elements driving this tourism is its portrayal of beautiful women. Many visitors arrive expecting to be surrounded by stunning locals. And indeed, Phuket is home to women who meet international beauty standards. From the sleek, tanned skin to the long, flowing hair, the island is marketed as a place where tourists can not only enjoy scenic views, but also be part of a fantasy where beauty and pleasure go hand in hand. The idea of the beautiful Thai woman has been marketed in a way that makes it an essential part of Phuket AS tourism experience. The image of the perfect woman is used in advertisements, brochures, and social media campaigns to lure in travelers looking for a taste of something exotic. But the reality behind this marketed beauty is often far from glamorous. Many of the women who become part of this tourism image feel the weight of the pressure to conform to strict beauty standards. These standards are not just about looking good, they are tied to financial survival. The tourism industry, especially in areas like Patong Beach, heavily relies on the labor of women who work in the hospitality, entertainment, and adult industries. These women often face the pressure to look a certain way in order to get ahead in the business, and it's clear that the expectations go beyond just having a pretty face. The pressure is intense, and many women in Phuket feel that their worth is tied to how they meet the beauty ideal that the tourism industry has helped create. For some, this becomes an everyday struggle, where they feel like they have to meet unrealistic standards just to be able to pay their bills and support their families. In Phuket, beauty is not just about personal appearance, it's a commodity. Women are often seen as products that tourists can buy into, whether it's for a few hours of entertainment or to make the perfect memory during their holiday. The real beauty, however, lies in the emotional cost of such objectification. The idea that a woman's appearance is what makes her valuable can be deeply harmful. For many women, this becomes a battle of self-worth, constantly trying to meet the demands of the industry while suppressing their own desires and identities. One local woman, who has worked in the tourism industry for years, shared how difficult it is to maintain a certain image. Every day, you wake up knowing that how you look is your ticket to work. It's not just about beauty, but about how much you can sell that beauty to others, she explained. For her, the job was both empowering and disempowering at the same time. It allowed her to provide for her family, but it also forced her to confront the way society viewed her based on her appearance. Another woman, a longtime resident of Phuket, shared her feelings about the pressures women face in the tourism business. You see women walking around, smiling, talking to tourists, but behind those smiles is a feeling of being trapped in an image you didn't create, she said. She explained that many women feel like they are part of a market that values them only for what they represent to tourists, something beautiful, exotic, and entertaining. While some women are able to navigate the system and find ways to take control of their careers, others feel stuck in a cycle of objectification, unsure of how to escape the confines of the beauty industry that has defined their lives for so long. In a place like Phuket, where everyone seems to be part of a global marketing scheme, it's hard to tell if you are truly living the dream or just posing for it. The island's image as a paradise isn't just about its beaches or its nightlife. It's about the people who inhabit it. And for many women, that means constantly being reminded of their role in the tourist fantasy. It's a place where you can feel like a model for someone else's postcard, constantly being told that you are beautiful, but at the same time, being judged by how closely you resemble that image. The objectification of women in Phuket's tourism industry isn't just a local issue, it is a global one. The way women are marketed as beautiful objects for the entertainment and pleasure of others affects not only their mental and emotional well-being, but also their place in society. For many of the women working in the tourism industry in Phuket, it's not enough to be beautiful. They must also be available, approachable, and willing to conform to a role that has been thrust upon them by the demands of tourism. It's a complicated situation, where women are both celebrated for their beauty and trapped by it at the same time. Phuket's beauty industry, with all its allure and charm, is a reflection of the way society views women in the tourism and entertainment sectors. For those looking to experience the paradise that Phuket offers, the reality is often far more complex. The beautiful women you see walking through the streets or standing by the bars aren't just figures in a postcard. They are real people facing pressures and challenges that are often hidden behind the perfect images that tourism promotes. It is a reminder that behind the beauty of the island lies a truth that many tourists never see. Beauty isn't always what it seems, and it can come at a cost. Life for locals. The reality of living in paradise. While tourists get to enjoy the beauty of Phuket, the locals often face a very different reality. Phuket is known for its breathtaking beaches, luxury resorts, and lively nightlife. But behind the scenes, there's a story that most visitors don't see. For the people who live on the island, the price of paradise can be much higher than anyone might imagine. While tourists flock to Phuket seeking relaxation and adventure, the rising costs of living are making it harder for locals to stay afloat. One of the biggest challenges that locals face is the rising cost of living. As Phuket's tourism industry booms, the demand for housing, food, and basic services has skyrocketed. The influx of tourists every year has led to inflation, particularly in tourist-heavy areas like Patong Beach. Rent prices have soared, and it is becoming more difficult for local families to afford to live in areas where they've spent their whole lives. For many, this means moving further away from the coast or even leaving the island in search of more affordable living conditions. Local businesses, too, are struggling to keep up with the costs associated with tourism. Restaurants, shops, and markets that used to cater to the local community are now being replaced by businesses that cater specifically to tourists. Many locals find themselves priced out of the very areas where they grew up, forced to watch as their hometown changes into something unrecognizable. The impact of tourism inflation is felt in every aspect of life. For example, a simple meal that would have cost a local just a few years ago has now doubled in price, largely due to the demand created by tourists. The increase in food prices, rent, and transportation is squeezing the local population, making it harder for them to maintain their standard of living. For many, tourism is a double-edged sword. While it brings in much-needed revenue, it also drives up costs, creating a situation where the very people who are working in the tourism industry can no longer afford the basic necessities. As tourism continues to grow, inequality on the island has become more noticeable. There's a clear divide between the wealthy tourists who visit Phuket and the everyday locals who struggle to make ends meet. Tourists enjoy the luxury of five-star hotels, extravagant meals, and beautiful beachside resorts, while the locals work long hours for relatively low wages in the service industries. The divide between the rich and the poor is growing wider every year, and it's becoming harder for locals to keep up with the changing economic landscape. Many locals work multiple jobs just to survive, but the rising costs of living make it nearly impossible to get ahead. Meanwhile, tourists continue to pour money into the island's economy, but much of that money never makes it to the people who actually live there. The contrast is striking. While tourists enjoy the luxury and convenience that Phuket has to offer, The reality for locals is one of constant struggle. For some, it feels as though they are living in a place that is meant for others, where their own quality of life is overshadowed by the wealth and privilege of the tourists around them. This growing divide between the rich and the poor in Phuket has led to a sense of frustration among many locals who feel as though they are being pushed aside as their island is transformed into a global tourist destination. The question that many locals ask themselves is paradise really as perfect as it seems when it is only accessible to some? The reality is that for those who live in Phuket, the beauty of the island comes at a cost. The island's reputation as a paradise is built on the labor of its people, but the benefits of tourism don't always reach them. Instead, many locals find themselves living in overcrowded conditions, struggling to keep up with rising costs and watching as the island they know and love changes into something else. For some, it feels like paradise has become a playground for the rich, a place where the locals are just there to serve the needs of the visitors. In addition to the economic challenges, the growing number of tourists has also put pressure on the island's infrastructure. Roads are often clogged with traffic, public services are stretched thin, and the environment is suffering from the strain of over-tourism. Locals are witnessing the degradation of the island as its natural beauty, the very thing that draws tourists to Phuket in the first place. Overcrowded beaches, pollution, and the destruction of natural habitats are all consequences of the unchecked growth of tourism. For many locals, it is a bitter reality, watching their home become overrun with tourists and seeing the beauty of the island being destroyed in the process. Despite these challenges, the people of Phuket continue to work hard, striving to make a living and take care of their families. They are proud of their island, and they continue to welcome tourists with open arms, even though they may not always benefit from the money tourists bring. But the strain is evident, and many locals are beginning to question the long-term sustainability of the tourism model that has made Phuket so popular. The beauty of Phuket is undeniable, but for the locals who live there, it's becoming harder to enjoy. The paradise that tourists see is often out of reach for those who call the island home. With rising costs, growing inequality, and the constant pressure of living in a tourist-driven economy, it is clear that life for locals is much more difficult than the idyllic image of Phuket suggests. The question remains: can the island continue to thrive as a tourist destination without leaving its residents behind? Only time will tell, but for now, Phuket's paradise is one that is reserved for a fortunate few, leaving the rest to struggle in its shadow. Environmental issues. The price of over-tourism. Phuket's beautiful beaches are being ravaged, not just by the tourists but by the very industry that relies on them. The island, known for its clear blue waters, sandy beaches, and lush greenery, is a paradise to many who visit. However, as tourism continues to soar, so does the environmental toll it takes on the island. What was once a serene and untouched haven is now struggling to cope with the sheer volume of visitors and the impact they leave behind. The very things that make Phuket an attractive destination are also the ones that threaten its future. One of the most pressing issues Phuket faces today is pollution. The island's natural beauty has long been its main attraction, but the increase in tourism has led to significant pollution problems. The most obvious of these is plastic pollution. Beaches that were once pristine now have plastic waste scattered along the shore, and it's not just the beaches that suffer. Phuket's waters, too, are increasingly filled with plastic bags, bottles, and other debris. The tourism industry, with its large number of visitors consuming food, drinks, and other products packaged in plastic, has only worsened the situation. Tourists often bring their own waste, but more often than not, the infrastructure for managing waste is not up to the task of dealing with it. Simple things like beach cleanups are not enough to handle the scale of the issue. Waste management is another significant challenge for Phuket. The island's infrastructure has not kept pace with the growing number of tourists and the waste they generate. While there are waste disposal systems in place, many are overwhelmed by the sheer volume of rubbish that ends up in landfills or the ocean. The local authorities struggle to keep up with the rising waste, and the impact on the environment is becoming harder to ignore. Areas like Patong Beach, which attract the highest number of tourists, are often the worst affected, with rubbish piling up faster than it can be cleaned. The result is an environment that, although beautiful on the surface, is increasingly struggling beneath the weight of its own popularity. In addition to plastic pollution, environmental degradation has become a serious issue. The development of more hotels, resorts, and tourist attractions to accommodate the growing number of visitors has led to deforestation and the destruction of local ecosystems. The island's once thriving coral reefs are now facing threats from overfishing, boat traffic, and pollution. The delicate marine life that relies on these ecosystems is in danger, and the long-term impact could be irreversible. What was once a vibrant underwater paradise is now at risk of becoming a barren wasteland. The destruction of these natural habitats is not only harmful to wildlife, but also to the local economy, as many tourists come to Phuket for its natural beauty, including diving and snorkeling opportunities. The island's natural beauty is also threatened by the strain tourism puts on its freshwater resources. The demand for water has increased dramatically with the rise in tourists, and the local water supply is under pressure. This has led to water shortages, especially during the dry season, affecting both residents and visitors. As the island's popularity grows, so does its need for resources. But the infrastructure to support that growth has not been able to keep up. However, there is some hope on the horizon. A small but growing number of eco-tourism projects are working to preserve Phuket's natural beauty. These initiatives are focused on promoting sustainable tourism that minimizes environmental impact while still allowing tourists to enjoy the island's attractions. Eco-friendly resorts, for example, are being built with an emphasis on energy efficiency and waste reduction. These resorts use renewable energy sources, recycle water, and make a concerted effort to reduce their carbon footprint. Some local businesses are also working together to organize beach cleanups and reduce plastic usage, hoping to set an example for others to follow. While these efforts are still in their early stages, they represent a positive shift toward sustainability in Phuket's tourism industry. More and more tourists are beginning to care about the environmental impact of their travels, and some are choosing eco-friendly options when visiting the island. The rise of eco-tourism may be the key to preserving Phuket's natural beauty for future generations. However, for these initiatives to truly make a difference, they need broader support from both the local government and the tourism industry as a whole. As visitors, we often only see the beauty of the place we are visiting: the crystal-clear waters, the sandy beaches, the towering palm trees. But when you see those crystal-clear waters, you don't think about the trash being dumped in the ocean just hours later. It's the dirty secret behind paradise. The same paradise that draws millions of visitors every year is slowly being eaten away by the very industry that makes it so appealing. The problem is not only about pollution or waste, it's about finding a balance between the economy that thrives on tourism and the environment that sustains it. Phuket's story is a warning for many other tourist destinations around the world. As more and more people visit these once untouched places, the damage done to the environment increases. But the good news is that there is still time to make a change. By supporting ecotourism, reducing waste, and promoting sustainable practices, we can help preserve Phuket's beauty for generations to come. However, this requires a collective effort from tourists, businesses, and local authorities alike. If we continue to ignore the environmental impact of our actions, we risk losing the very things that make Phuket and other beautiful destinations special. In the end, the price of over-tourism in Phuket is not just paid by the environment, it's paid by all of us. If we don't take action now, the paradise we love might not be around for much longer. The beauty of Phuket is undeniable, but its future depends on the choices we make today. The island has given so much to the world, and now it's time for the world to give something back by helping protect it. It is up to all of us to ensure that Phuket's natural beauty is not lost in the rush for profit and fame. The future of the island, and places like it, depends on how we choose to treat them now. The social impact of tourism. Changing Phuket's identity. Phuket isn't just changing physically, it's changing socially too. The island, known for its idyllic beaches and vibrant culture, is experiencing a transformation that goes beyond just its appearance. While tourists have always been part of Phuket's identity, the rapid rise in the number of visitors in recent years has brought about a major shift in the social fabric of the island. As Phuket becomes increasingly popular as a tourist destination, the changes it is undergoing are not just about overcrowded beaches or new hotels. The island's very culture and way of life are being affected, and for many locals, this transformation is proving to be a double-edged sword. The most obvious impact of the surge in tourism is cultural erosion. Phuket has long been home to a tight-knit community, where traditions, family values, and local customs were passed down through generations. However, the influx of tourists from all over the world has started to change the way people live and interact with one another. As tourism grows, more and more areas that were once filled with local businesses, homes, and schools are being taken over by large hotels, restaurants, and shops catering to international visitors. Local markets are replaced by flashy shopping malls, and quiet residential streets are now bustling with tourists who come and go without fully understanding the local way of life. The pressure to cater to tourists has led to the loss of some traditional practices and values, as the island's culture becomes commercialized to meet the demands of outsiders. For many locals, the shift from a tight-knit community to a mass tourism economy has been difficult. The once quiet island has now become a global destination, attracting millions of visitors every year. While tourism brings economic opportunities, it has also led to social challenges. With the island's economy so heavily reliant on tourism, locals are increasingly working in industries that cater to visitors, often at the expense of traditional jobs and occupations. As the tourism industry expands, local businesses are often pushed out in favor of international franchises and chains that are better equipped to meet the needs of tourists. In some areas, locals feel like they no longer have a place in the community they once knew. They watch as their neighborhoods change, and the unique characteristics that made Phuket special slowly fade into the background. This growing trend is what many call the touristification of Phuket. The term describes the process by which a place becomes overly shaped by the needs and desires of tourists, often to the detriment of the local community. In Phuket, this means that the island's identity is slowly being molded to fit a more commercial, visitor-centric image. The local culture, food, and traditions are often seen as commodities for tourists to experience rather than integral parts of the island's identity. While tourism has undoubtedly brought wealth and development to the island, it has also created a tension between preserving local culture and catering to the ever-growing demands of the tourism industry. The challenge of balancing tourism with maintaining Phuket's cultural integrity is one that locals and authorities are grappling with every day. On one hand, tourism is the backbone of Phuket's economy, creating jobs, supporting businesses, and bringing in much-needed revenue. On the other hand, the growth of tourism has led to the homogenization of the island, with international chains and commercialized attractions overtaking what once made Phuket unique. The original charm of the island, the quiet villages, the local crafts, the traditional food, is becoming harder to find as more and more areas are developed for the benefit of tourists. For locals, this can feel like a loss of identity, as their own culture becomes something to be bought and sold for profit. This transformation raises an important question. Can a place really hold on to its identity when it constantly morphing to fit the desires of outsiders? It as a question that not only applies to Phuket, but to many other tourist destinations around the world. As tourism grows and evolves, the places that attract visitors often struggle to maintain the unique qualities that made them desirable in the first place. In Phuket's case, the island's charm lies in its natural beauty and rich cultural history. But as the island becomes more commercialized, these qualities are at risk of being overshadowed by the need to appeal to a global audience. For the people of Phuket, this means a constant balancing act between preserving their traditions and adapting to the demands of a tourism-driven economy. The effects of over-tourism are felt most acutely by the locals, who are often caught in the middle of this change. While tourism brings economic benefits, it also comes with challenges that can alter the social and cultural landscape. For the residents of Phuket, the question is not just about how to make money from tourism, but how to preserve what makes their island special. As Phuket continues to grow and evolve, it will have to find a way to balance the needs of tourists with the desire to protect its cultural identity. In conclusion, the social impact of tourism in Phuket is significant and complex. While the island's stunning beaches and vibrant culture attract millions of visitors each year, the social and cultural consequences of this growth are becoming more apparent. The erosion of traditional ways of life, the shift to a tourism-centered economy, and the loss of local identity are challenges that many locals face. As the island's economy continues to rely on tourism, the question remains whether it can maintain its cultural integrity and identity in the face of overwhelming external pressure. For many, the true cost of tourism is not just environmental damage, but the loss of what makes a place unique and special in the first place. Phuket's economy, more than just tourism. What does Phuket's economy really look like when you scratch the surface of tourism? On the surface, it seems like Phuket's economy is entirely driven by tourism, with millions of visitors flocking to the island each year. The stunning beaches, luxury resorts, and vibrant nightlife are just a few of the reasons why tourists choose Phuket as their vacation destination. While tourism undoubtedly plays a significant role in Phuket's economic success, the reality is much more complex. The island's economy is not just about the money tourists bring in. It is about the industries and businesses that support and sustain the island as economy on a daily basis. Tourism may be the major contributor to Phuket's economy, but it's far from the only source of revenue. There are various industries and businesses that thrive because of tourism, but also because of the island's growing infrastructure and local demand. The hospitality industry, for example, is a massive part of Phuket's economy, with hundreds of hotels, resorts, and guest houses offering accommodation for the millions of tourists who visit each year. From budget-friendly hostels to five-star luxury resorts, the range of accommodations available helps cater to different types of visitors and ensures that the island can handle a constant flow of tourists. With each tourist who stays in a hotel, the local economy sees a boost in revenue, whether it's from the cost of a room, the food served in the hotel's restaurants, or the transportation to and from the airport. Another major sector benefiting from tourism is transport. With so many tourists arriving, there's a high demand for taxis, buses, and rental cars. Local transportation businesses are booming, with drivers and rental companies benefiting from the constant influx of visitors. Additionally, the demand for boat tours, ferry rides, and other water-based transportation has created a thriving industry around Phuket's beaches and nearby islands. The transport industry, directly tied to tourism, provides jobs and keeps the economy flowing smoothly, as locals work to cater to the needs of the thousands who travel in and around the island every day. The food and entertainment sectors also play a large part in Phuket's economy. Restaurants, cafes, and street vendors thrive by serving the large number of visitors looking to experience the local cuisine. From traditional Thai dishes to international food, Phuket has something for every palate. The island's food scene is a major draw for tourists, and it's also a source of income for locals who work in the food industry. Bars, nightclubs, and entertainment venues also benefit from the tourism boom, offering a variety of activities that keep the island buzzing day and night. These businesses, directly and indirectly, rely on tourism to stay open, and they're crucial to the economic health of the island. However, as tourism continues to dominate the economy, the island also faces challenges in balancing a thriving economy with the need to address social and environmental issues. The rapid growth of tourism has put immense pressure on the island's infrastructure and resources. Local communities, who were once able to live quietly, now find themselves dealing with overcrowding, higher living costs, and the degradation of their environment. The demand for land has led to the development of more hotels and resorts, which has put stress on local resources like water, electricity, and waste management. Many of the small businesses that used to serve local populations are being replaced by tourist-centered businesses that cater to visitors rather than residents. The environmental impact of tourism is also a growing concern. Phuket's once pristine beaches and marine life are being threatened by the influx of tourists. Coral reefs are being damaged by overfishing and pollution from boats, while beaches become littered with trash left behind by tourists. The development of more resorts has led to the destruction of natural habitats, and the increase in traffic contributes to pollution and air quality problems. While tourism brings in significant revenue, it also creates long-term challenges that could harm the island's natural beauty, which is one of the main reasons people visit in the first place. In speaking with a local business owner, the challenges of this rapid development become clearer. The business owner, who runs a small family-owned restaurant near Patong Beach, explained how tourism has affected their daily life. Tourism has brought more customers, more business, and more opportunities for my family. But it's also made it harder to keep up with costs. The rent is going up, the prices of food are rising, and it's not just my restaurant, everyone is feeling the pressure, they said. The island is changing, and while it's good for business, I can't help but feel that some of what makes Phuket special is being lost. It's all becoming about mass tourism, and it's starting to feel a bit too much. The business owner's story reflects the experiences of many locals who benefit from tourism, but also feel its downsides. The rapid growth of the tourism industry has led to more job opportunities, but it has also resulted in rising living costs and a loss of traditional ways of life. The constant flood of tourists means more jobs, but also more strain on infrastructure, resources, and the environment. It's a tricky balance. While the money tourists bring in is essential for the economy, it also brings with it a host of challenges that need to be addressed. Phuket might be a small island, but it's the engine driving the economy for millions of people. Its tourism-driven economy supports a wide range of businesses and provides countless jobs for locals. But at what cost? The growing pressure on resources, the environmental damage, and the social changes all add up to a complex picture of an economy built on tourism. While tourism is crucial for Phuket's success, it's clear that the island must find ways to address these challenges to ensure that its economic growth doesn't come at the expense of its future. The key lies in finding a balance between benefiting from tourism and protecting the island's resources, culture, and environment for future generations. Sustainability. Can Phuket survive? So, what does the future hold for Phuket? Can it maintain its position as a top tourist destination while also taking care of its people and its environment? This is the question that's on many minds as the island continues to face the challenges of over-tourism, pollution, and environmental degradation. While Phuket is one of the most famous islands in the world, known for its beautiful beaches and vibrant culture, it is also becoming a place where the price of paradise is starting to show. The growing pressure from tourism is threatening to undermine the very reasons why people visit in the first place. In order to survive, Phuket must find a way to balance its booming tourism industry with the need to protect its environment and preserve the quality of life for its local people. The good news is that there are already efforts underway to promote sustainable tourism in Phuket. Local businesses and environmental groups are starting to recognize the importance of preserving the island's natural beauty and resources. Many hotels and resorts have begun adopting eco-friendly practices, including using renewable energy, reducing waste, and recycling water. These eco-hotels are designed to minimize their environmental impact while providing tourists with a comfortable stay. For example, some resorts now use solar panels to generate electricity, reducing their reliance on traditional power sources. Others have implemented systems to reduce water usage, especially during the dry season when water is in high demand. These efforts not only help conserve natural resources but also show tourists that it is possible to enjoy a luxurious vacation without harming the environment. In addition to eco-hotels, other innovative solutions are being put in place to address the environmental challenges Phuket is facing. Responsible tourism is one of the key concepts that has gained traction in recent years. This involves tourists being more conscious of their impact on the island and making choices that support sustainability. For instance, some tour operators now offer eco-friendly tours that focus on nature conservation, allowing visitors to enjoy Phuket's wildlife without causing harm to the local ecosystems. There are also initiatives aimed at waste reduction, with local businesses working to minimize plastic waste by offering reusable alternatives and encouraging tourists to bring their own refillable water bottles. These small but important changes are helping to reduce the amount of waste that ends up on the beaches or in the ocean, where it can cause significant harm to marine life. Sustainability isn't just the responsibility of local businesses and environmental groups, though. Tourists also have a crucial role to play in ensuring that Phuket remains a beautiful and thriving destination for years to come. Tourists can help by making more sustainable choices during their stay, choosing eco-friendly accommodations, supporting local businesses that focus on sustainability, and being mindful of waste are all ways tourists can make a positive impact. For example, by opting to stay in eco-hotels or eating at restaurants that source ingredients locally, tourists can help support businesses that prioritize environmental responsibility. Additionally, simple actions like not leaving trash behind on the beach, using public transportation instead of renting a car, and reducing plastic usage can go a long way in helping preserve Phuket's beauty. Tourists who make these conscious decisions not only help the island's environment, but also encourage other travelers and businesses to do the same. But the truth is, Phuket's future depends on more than just small individual efforts. If the island is to survive and thrive in the long term, it will need a collective commitment to sustainability from everyone involved: local businesses, government authorities, and tourists. The government of Phuket has a critical role to play in promoting sustainable tourism policies and ensuring that local regulations protect the environment. In recent years, there have been some positive steps taken to address these issues, such as the implementation of regulations to limit the number of tourists allowed to visit certain protected areas and the push for better waste management systems. However, these efforts need to be expanded and enforced more strictly to ensure they have a lasting impact. Sustainable tourism can only be successful if there is a coordinated effort to protect the island's natural resources while still allowing tourism to thrive. If we don't change how we approach places like Phuket, the paradise you fell in love with might one day be gone. The idea of Phuket as a dream vacation destination is built on its natural beauty, its pristine beaches, and its vibrant culture. But if tourism continues to grow without regard for the environment and local communities, the island risks losing everything that makes it special. The beaches could become overrun with trash, the coral reefs could be destroyed, and the very things that make Phuket unique could disappear. This isn't just a problem for Phuket, it's a problem for all popular tourist destinations around the world. The impact of mass tourism on the environment is undeniable, and if we don't start making changes now, future generations may never get to experience the island in its full glory. Phuket is at a crossroads. It can continue on its current path, reaping the economic benefits of tourism without addressing the damage being done. Or it can make a conscious shift toward sustainability and work to preserve its beauty for future generations. The island has the potential to be a model for sustainable tourism, where the economy and the environment can coexist and thrive together. But this will require a collective effort, a change in mindset, and a commitment to protecting what makes Phuket special. It's not too late to make a difference, but time is running out. The future of Phuket depends on the choices we make today. Sustainability is key to ensuring that Phuket remains a paradise for both locals and tourists alike. The island's economy is heavily reliant on tourism, but tourism must be managed in a way that doesn't come at the expense of the environment or the people who live there. By supporting ecotourism, reducing waste, and making conscious decisions as tourists, we can help preserve Phuket's natural beauty for future generations. The price of paradise doesn't have to be a high one if we start taking responsibility for the impact we have on the places we visit. If we act now, Phuket can continue to be the stunning, vibrant destination it is, without sacrificing its future. So, what's the final word on Phuket? Is it still a paradise, or has it become something else entirely? The island that many once considered the ultimate tropical destination is facing a challenging future. While Phuket's beaches, clear waters, and vibrant culture continue to attract millions of visitors every year, the toll that over-tourism, pollution, and environmental degradation are taking on the island is becoming impossible to ignore. The paradise that once drew people for its untouched beauty is now at risk of being overshadowed by the very industry that made it famous. The question we must ask ourselves is whether Phuket can maintain its status as a dream vacation spot while addressing these serious challenges. Phuket's future is not only in the hands of tourists but also in the hands of the locals and the government. Tourists play a major role in shaping the island's economy and social fabric, but they also have the power to influence how the island develops moving forward. Tourists who choose to visit eco-friendly resorts, support local businesses, and make more sustainable travel decisions can help reduce the negative impact tourism has on Phuket. But it's not just about what tourists do. It is also about how locals and the government respond to the issues Phuket is facing. Local communities need to be empowered to protect their environment and cultural heritage, while the government must put policies in place to regulate tourism growth and ensure sustainable practices are followed. It's a team effort that requires all parties to be invested in preserving the island for future generations. At the heart of this discussion is the crucial question: how do we balance tourism with respect for the local people and environment? As tourism continues to grow, the pressure on the island's resources will only increase. The government and local businesses must take action to create a sustainable tourism model that works for everyone, not just tourists and big corporations, but also the people who call Phuket home. Respect for the local culture, environment, and way of life must be prioritized, while still finding ways for the tourism industry to thrive. It's a delicate balance, but it's not impossible to achieve. By focusing on responsible tourism and sustainable development, Phuket can continue to welcome visitors without sacrificing its future. Now, it's your turn. Do you still want to visit Phuket after learning all this? Or do you think it's time for a change? Leave your thoughts below, and let's keep this conversation going. The future of Phuket is in our hands, and only through awareness and action can we ensure that this island remains a paradise for everyone, locals, tourists, and future generations alike. Let's work together to protect what makes Phuket so special before it's too late.